A very good morning, students. Today we will study a new chapter in Science 1, that is a reflection of light. In today's lecture, we will study about what is reflection, types of reflection of a point source on a plane mirror, reflection of extended source on a plane mirror. Now, in our day-to-day life, we are seeing various examples pertaining to reflection of light. So the first example that we are seeing over here is reflection of light in the mirror. Every day we are using the mirror in our day-to-day life, okay, for various purposes. Reflection of light in spherical mirror. This we will study in detail in the next lecture. For time being, you can say reflection of light in spherical mirrors. Spherical mirrors are the mirrors we are using in car as a rear view mirror. So it is also we are using in day-to-day life. Reflection of light in the water pool. Definitely you can see a water pool, or you can also say, a surface of a river. You are able to see the objects that are surrounding the water pool, or you can say the riverbed. Reflection of light on a polished surface. Okay, you can take any metal, and if the surface of the metal is polished, you are able to see on the polished surface of the object or the metal. Object seen due to reflection of light. The next example in our day-to-day life that we see pertaining to reflection is glowing of stars. Lighting of moon at the night is another example that we are seeing because of reflection. Reflection from the luminous object. Luminous object are the object which are able to emit light. Okay, so in our day-to-day life, the luminous object, the best example would be sun. Reflection of non-luminous object. Okay, even non-luminous object like a tree or any object that is placed in a room can be considered as a non-luminous object that is also taking part in reflection. So students, now we will see what is reflection in detail. So the first question that is arising over here is, why do we see objects? Now in this slide, we can see a girl who is looking at the tree. There is a sun shining on her head. So what exactly happens is, the rays of light that are coming from the sun are incident on the tree. And the tree will ultimately reflect the rays of light to the eyes of the girl. And this is the reason why she will be able, that there is an object which is called as tree in front of her. Now we will see the exact explanation of this photo. What exactly happens, why we are able to see objects in our day-to-day life, any object that is, there in your vicinity. A tree's reflection is being seen by the girl. When the ray of light falls on the tree becomes luminous object. See, I told previously, luminous objects are the object which are able to emit light. But as such, tree is not a luminous object. So what happens is, the rays of light that are coming from the sun, they are being incident on the tree, and the tree itself becomes a luminous object. And the luminous object easily reflects the smooth surface. Okay, hence what is happening, we get a virtual image of the tree in our eyes. Okay, luminous object are the object which have their own light. These objects should be glowing or have some light of itself. Okay. So in other word, I can say whenever a ray of light falls on an object, it is going to be bouncing back from the object into our eye. Now, suppose if there is a thing which is being kept in a dark room, there is no light at all. We can't see things in dark. Why? Because there is no light at all. This is the reason why we are incapable of seeing things in dark. But what if a source of light in the form of bulb is being kept in that room? So definitely when you turn off the bulb or when you turn off the tube light, you will be able to see the object surrounding to that light. Okay, why? Because the ray of light that are being emitted from the bulb are being incident on the object that is being placed in that room. And ultimately that object will turn into a luminous object and it will start reflecting the rays of light in all possible direction. And these rays of light will ultimately reach our eyes and an image of the object will be formed. And this is how we will be able to perceive what all things that are being kept in that room. So ultimately you can say this source of light in the form of bulb, it is emitting tons of rays of light. So how do we see things? When a light hits something, it bounces back. And when this bounced light reach our eyes, we see things. This is why we need light to see things. Okay, so there is always a need of light to see things. It is responsible for reflection. Now see how the bouncing back of the light is being done. We are able to see in this slide. We'll see in detail what happens. Here in the form of blue color, you can see a picture which is denoting a water surface. A water surface which is still. You can also say the surface of the water is plain. There is a sun which is emitting ray of light. A ray of light is being, it is coming, it is approaching this surface, this plain surface of the pool of water. So the ray of light which is approaching the plain surface of a pool of water or any plain surface is called as an incident ray. Okay, because it is incident on a surface. And the moment it is hitting the plain surface over here, what happens is the plane surface bounces it back in the opposite direction. So we get a ray which is called as a reflected ray. So this bounced back ray will now be called as a reflected ray. If you see both the angles, that is the angle of the incident ray and the reflected ray, they are going to be the same. The angle at which the ray will be incident will be equal to the angle at which the ray will be reflected or bounced back. So what is reflection of light? Reflection of light is a phenomena that we see in our day-to-day life. It is really a beautiful phenomena that is being observed in the nature. Reflection is a natural phenomena of light. What it does is it separates the light waves to go through a straight line. Means it is due to the reflection that a beam of light changes its path. In our case, the change in path is going to be the reflected ray. Okay, it is just going to change its path. Initially, it is incident and later it changes its path to become a reflected ray. In other words, the bouncing back of light wave In the same medium, when it strikes with any surface, whether it is plain, curved, or rough. So light is having a tendency to bounce back, regardless of the surface, the nature of the surface. The surface can be plain, the surface can be curved, the surface can be rough. In any form, the light is going to change its path. Again, here it is saying that the reflection of beam in the same medium. In our case, the medium is going to be air. So incident ray will fall on the plane surface or curved surface, definitely in the medium air, and the reflected ray will again be in the air only. What are the different types of reflection of light? We will now study them. There are various types of reflection that we observe in our day-to-day life. And definitely we'll see the examples also. There are many types of reflection of light in day-to-day life. But we discuss most common one. Okay, we will discuss the most common one. The first common reflection that we see in our day-to-day life is the regular reflection of light. The second form of reflection that we see in our day-to-day life is irregular or diffused reflection of light or diffusion of light. The third one is going to be multiple reflection of light. So we will now see what is regular reflection. If a ray of light falls on a smooth surface and the light ray gets reflected only in one direction, there will be the regular reflection of light. Regular reflection of light can be defined as the light wave falling on a polished surface and gets reflected in such a way that all the light waves will be parallel to each other. Okay, to explain this, we will see this picture in detail. Now see over here, there is a plane surface. The plane surface can be anything. It can be a mirror, it can be a water pool, it can be a river surface, anything. Anything which is still, that will be called as a plane surface. So the rays that are going to be falling, that are going to be approaching, are going to be the incident ray. Look at the angle at which the incident rays are inclined. They all are all at the same angles. And when they hit the plane surface, they will be reflected. Definitely, they are again parallel to each other at the same angles. You can see each of the line is parallel to each other. So you can say whatever incident rays were there, they are being reflected at the same line. And of course, they are parallel to each other. Definitely, this is the reason why the image that will be formed will be uniform. Example is when you are looking yourself in the plane mirror, you can see yourself nice and clear. So that is an example of regular reflection of light. This is the best example I can show you with the help of picture for regular reflection. Now one may ask, what is the difference in this picture, ma'am? The difference is lying over here. You can see a clear image of the mountain here in the water. So what is happening, bachalo? You can see there is no distortion of the image formed in the river, I can say still river. You can see a nice view of the mountain, clear, okay, well distant image that is being formed on the surface of the water. So this is an example of regular reflection. The next type of reflection is called as an irregular reflection. In irregular reflection, what is happening is if the ray of light falls on a rough surface, Then after reflecting the light wave, they gets diffused in all the direction. Unlike regular reflection, here after reflection, reflected rays will be distorted. They will be moving in all possible directions. Irregular reflection of light can also be defined as the rays of light falls on a surface that is not polished. You can also say it is not at all a regular surface. Then after reflection, it will bounce back in the same medium, that is air, but not each ray will be parallel to each other. So to illustrate the irregular or diffused reflection, we will see this picture. We will move to this picture. Look at the surface. The surface is rough. Okay. So whenever the rays of that are being incident on such a surface, these rays that are inclined at the same angle. If you all have observed, they all are parallel. But the moment a ray of light comes and it hits the surface, what happens is here after reflection, its angle changes. So you can see the reflected rays are, they are being distorted in all the possible angles. This is the reason why the image that will be formed will not be well distinct. It will be distorted. So such a reflection would be called as a irregular reflection. In the next slide, we will see the picture of regular or diffused reflection. Now here you can see the same scene where there is a mountain and there is a river. But here what is happening? Look at the surface of the river. The surface is not plain. Okay, since the surface is not plain, you are not going to get a well distinct image at the surface of this river. So such type of image would be called as a diffused image, and such reflection would be called as a diffused reflection. The third reflection that we are going to see now is multiple reflection. When ray of light falls on a surface, whether it is roughly or polished surface, the surfaces are placed with respect to each other, polished or rough surface in such a way that after reflection of light from one surface, the reflected ray falls on the surface and again reflection takes place. And you can see the reflection takes place on the third surface also, and so on. So you can see a single ray of light undergoes reflection a multiple number of times. So such a reflection is called as a multiple reflection. Now to illustrate multiple reflection, we will take help of this diagram. What we do over here is we take two mirror, or you can also say good reflectors. Okay, this one is one surface and this one is one surface. This is called as the first reflection and this is called as the second reflection. What happens is a ray of light is being incident on the first surface. The moment this is incident on the first surface, what happens? It gets reflected here. But it is being reflected on the surface of the second reflector. You can also take a mirror also. You can also take example, two mirrors are being placed face to each other. So an incident light ray approaches it. Similarly, it gets reflected. After reflection, it becomes an incident ray for the second surface or the second mirror. And again, it faces a reflection. So this is how a multiple reflection is being taken a number of times. Now, someone may ask me that what is the example of multiple reflection? You can say you are using kaleidoscope. So kaleidoscope does nothing. You are taking 2 or 3 pieces of colored glasses and ultimately when light falls on it, it is going to undergo a multiple reflection and you are going to see nice pattern in the kaleidoscope. Now we will see an introduction of a German scientist. Let us see what he has done, contribution. Okay. The German scientist Justus von Liebig coated the plain surface of a piece of ordinary glass with silver metal and made the first mirror. Justus Liebig is a scientist who actually took a plain glass and he coated the glass with silver metal. Okay, and that we are calling it as mirror that we use in our day-to-day life. So in initial days, this mirror was called as silvered glass mirror. Okay. In olden days, definitely there was no other metal, so silver was commonly used in that time to coat the glass for making mirror. So what is mirror? In scientific language, it has a surface which reflects light and creates clear image. It is called as mirror. We need polished surface for reflecting light. The surface needs to be polished. This is because the polished surface absorbs less light and so maximum light is reflected. So this is the main purpose of using mirror. Maximum light will be thrown back towards your direction. So this is the reason why you are able to see clear image of yourself in the mirror. Now there are basically various types of mirror. Okay, the first one is a plane, the second one is a spherical, and in spherical we are again having two types, that is the convex and the concave. In today's lecture we will just focus on plane mirror only. In the next lecture we will see the other two types of spherical mirror, that is convex and concave. So this is how a plane mirror look like, which we all use in our day-to-day life. A mirror is made by coating the surface of a flat and smooth glass piece with a thin reflecting film of aluminum or silver. And on this, a red color is painted. A red color paint is painted over it. To protect this reflecting film and to make that side to pick another coat of substance, that is lead oxide, is given over it. So you can see a mirror, how it is being made. It is just a plain glass which is coated with the film of aluminum. Nowadays we are using aluminum also. Sometimes we are using silver nitrate also to paint the backside of the glass, plain glass. And ultimately it is being coated with the help of color. The color can be any color. Normally it is a red paint, which is like this. And in some mirror, the paint is blue also. So no worry, but this is how a plain mirror is looking like. Now this is an important topic that we will be seeing. Okay. Ray falling on a mirror normal to its surface. Now here we are having a figure that shows light falling perpendicularly on a mirror is reflected back in the perpendicular direction. We will see a detailed explanation of this with the help of diagram. Now see, the symbol for the plane mirror is you are drawing a vertical line and the blue lines that are being inclined, that are going to be the backside of the mirror. So this is how a mirror is being depicted when you're drawing a ray diagram. So what happens over here is an incident ray is being falling on the surface of the plane mirror. Now, when this incident ray is falling, it is exactly normal. It is exactly at an angle of 90 degree with the surface of the plane mirror. So what happens? There is reflection occurring. Definitely, you can see the direction of the reflected ray is opposite to the incident ray, but it is traversing the same path as that of the incident ray. So here we can say the angle of incidence and angle of reflection is going to be the same. Okay, so this is how a reflection is being, you can say, done on the plane mirror. Now, though the incident ray, reflected ray on the plane mirror are reflected on the plane mirror at an angle of 90 degree, say the angle between the incident ray and the reflected ray is going to be the zero. Okay, that is because the passing only direction opposite. Here, the directions of both of them are being, incident ray is in forward, the reflected ray direction we are showing along the same path as that of the incident ray. And this is how the image is formed on a plane mirror. The image of a point source formed by a mirror. Here, what we see is a point at the mirror. So this is the back side of the mirror. The front side of the mirror is this part. Okay, this front side of the mirror. Now, what is happening here is the R1 and R are going to be a reflected ray. Now we have to understand how the image will be formed for a point source. We will see this in detail now. Now what happens, see. Point source is a source which is pointed. You can also say, you can take anything. You can take a laser light point source and you can place it in front of a mirror. Now it starts emitting light. So the incident ray is OR1 over here, which is being incident on the shiny surface of the mirror. It gets reflected as R1S1 and it ultimately reaches our eye. Now, similarly, this point source will emit another ray of light, which we call it as OR2. OR2 is incident on the plane mirror, that is M1, M2 at point R2. And it also gets reflected from the surface of the plane mirror in the form of R2S2. So R2S2 is the another ray of light which is reflected from the mirror. Now suppose if the two reflected rays that are being shown by the red color, they are being produced backward. Now suppose if I produce the ray R1S1 in the backward direction, it will ultimately give me a point over here. Similarly, when I produce the ray backward, that is R2S2, if it is being produced in the backward direction, what will happen is the two rays are going to meet a single point, that is at point O1. You can also call it as O dash. So O dash will be the image that will be formed because of the point object O. One thing you must have noticed that the distance between the object and the mirror, the same distance will be there for the image and the mirror. The image will be formed at the same distance as that of the plane mirror. Okay, this is how an image will be formed for a point source on a mirror, on a plane mirror, I can say. The next concept that we will be seeing now is, what if the object is an extended source? Now we have to first see what is an extended source. Now we saw it is a point source. We will now see an extended source. In our case, the extended source is in the form of a pencil. The diagram itself depict a pencil. So here we are seeing a source PQ, which we will call it as extended source. There is a plane mirror M1 and M2. Okay, M1, M2 is what? Plane mirror. The slanted light lines at the back of the mirror is the back side of the mirror. P1 is the image of P and Q1 is the image of Q. Now how the image will be formed, we will see. A ray of light emitting from point P will be incident on the plane mirror. Now if you produce this incident ray in the backward direction, we get an image somewhere over here, and that image we call that point as P1. Okay, so this is the first point we are getting for this extended source PQ. Now, the same thing we can say it for point Q. The rays of light that are being emerging from point Q are incident on the plane mirror. And if the rays of light are produced backward, we get the image of point Q at point Q dash. You can also say Q1. Similarly, if you do the same thing with all the other points that are situated between point P and point Q, you are able to get the image at the back side of the mirror in the same manner as that of the object. Again, in this case also, I would say, look at the distance between the extended source from the mirror and look at the distance between the object and the plane mirror. They are always going to be the same. Okay. Now we will see what are the characteristics of an image formed by a plane mirror. How a mirror is forming a image. What are the characteristics? The image is erect and upright. Means if you stand in front of mirror, you can see the real yourself. If you are standing, definitely your image in the mirror will be standing only. So such thing is called as erect, or you can also say it is upright. It is virtual. Why we are calling it as a virtual image is, there are basically two reasons for this. The first reason is the image is formed at the back side of the mirror. Second, the reflected ray is traveling along the same path as that of the incident ray. The image is laterally inverted. Laterally inverted means when we stand in front of mirror, if you have noticed it or not, you can see your left hand is being seen as right side and your right hand is seen as your left side of the image in the mirror. So laterally inverted means there is an inversion of image. There is a flipping of sides. Okay, so you can relate it like this. It lies along a line joining the object and the surface, which is perpendicular to the surface. Definitely, the rays of light are always going to be the perpendicular to the plane surface of mirror. Size equals the object, means whatever height, whatever your body type is there, the same thing will be reflected in the mirror. What I want to say is a thin person won't look fat in mirror, a fat person won't look thin in the mirror. Whatever the person's characteristics are there, the same characteristic will be reflected in the mirror. It is located far behind the reflecting surface as the object in front of it. Okay, so these are basically the characteristics that we see for the image formed by a plane mirror. So in our today's assignment, you are going to give a detailed explanation for all these questions. The first assignment question that you will see is explain image of extended source formed by a plane mirror. Write the characteristic of image formed by the plane mirror. Explain the image of point source formed by the plane mirror. So students, in today's lecture, what we studied, we will just go through a quick recap of the things. Okay, in the introduction part, we saw various examples pertaining to reflection of light. In the next slide, why do we see object? We saw the detailed explanation about this. In the third slide, we saw why we are able to see objects in dark. Then, what exactly is reflection? Reflection is nothing but bouncing back of light from an object. In this part, we saw how reflection exactly takes place on a plane surface. The ray that is being approaching a surface is called as an incident ray, and the ray which is moving away from the plane surface is called as a reflected ray. So what is reflection? Reflection is nothing but a natural phenomena of light that separates the light wave to go through the straight line. We saw various types of reflections of light. There are basically three types that we saw today: regular, irregular, and multiple reflection. We saw regular reflection in detail. The example is there in the slide. We saw irregular reflection. Definitely after it, I explained the slide after it. We saw multiple reflection. Example is kaleidoscope. Then we saw a German scientist, Justus von Liebig, definitely who is the creator of mirror. That is the first silvered mirror. What is mirror? We saw the definition, the scientific definition of mirror. Mirror is nothing but a plain glass which is being coated with silver, nitrate, or aluminium, and finally it is being painted with red or any other color. We saw various types of mirror. Plain mirror was the focus of this particular lecture. We saw plane mirror. We saw ray falling on a mirror normal to its surface. We saw image of a point source formed by the mirror. We saw image of an extended source formed by a mirror. We saw detailed explanation of these three things. We saw the characteristic of the image that is being formed by the plane mirror. So these three things are being given for assignment. Kindly do the assignment work. It will be very useful for your standard 10th ray diagram drawing. So have a practice of it. And ultimately we come to the end of this lecture. Thank you, students.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am.